to go. I've got cigarettes and brandy.
There we go. Excellent. Welcome everybody to another session of the Tales of the Red Lions. We're just going to go straight back into it and do a recap of last session before continuing with the action, and we will start the recap with Laney.
Okay. With us having obliterated the high priest, Victor and the magistrate had a chat, and Victor confirmed that she is now in charge. She set Laney and Ida's relatives free because they're innocent. Went down to the cells to speak to them. And what looked like Laney's mother and father actually turned out to be two innkeepers, Sebastian de Paolo and his wife, who had been put in an illusion by someone who came to their inn and promised to make them look nicer. And then they got arrested instead of Laney's father and stepmother. We went on to Ida's parents in their cell, and they don't like Laney very much. So there was a lot of names thrown around, and they ended up demanding that Laney and Tasha leave, which they did. Lyle and Victor and Laney went to investigate the high priest's quarters. Tasha examined a doorway that had runes around it, which she thought were for cleaning clothes. And Lyle disappeared into another realm. At which point, I will pass it over to our halfling scout himself.
Yeah, I was not rolling hot last Sunday. I was face checking a bunch of traps.
They're gonna call. Blake's
Let's
gonna
see.
call whenever he gets back.
Hold on, I'm being talked to.
Blake's gonna call whenever he gets back from
Cool,
the store.
cool. That's very important at this moment.
Don't bite me, cat. Ah.
Alright, so, yeah, you know, every now and then this little random person shows up and she wants to talk to me like I'm her dad or something. It's weird. So, I face checked a bunch of stuff. I rolled so bad on every reflex save. I've got like a plus 22 or something to that. And I failed every single one. I got sucked into another realm, and it was the mirror that, when you looked at it, it showed the evil version of yourself, right? But for some reason, I was, like, in that world. And fixing the mirror, Marangana brought me back, is what I remember. To the best of my knowledge, we kind of walked through into another place, like through a broom closet, I think it was. And then there was Baldagunda and Belly Tumbler sitting there, and we were preparing for a fight, to the best of my knowledge. And I will pass the buck to Shion.
Yeah. Before we stumbled into this room and
so
ended
weird.
up where we are now, there was a little tiny bit detail of Rain's cousin Ivy dying, which threw Rain into despair, and she had to be dragged along by Tonka, because otherwise she wouldn't have made it through the portal before it completely collapsed. And yeah, that's the most she remembers from the last encounters. And she seems to be kind of scared of losing people, which proved to be somewhat right. Arowina.
Yeah. After we destroyed the High Priestess and the new person was in charge, she released Ida's uncle and aunt and what we thought was Lainey's parents but wasn't. And we took a small talk with my uncle and aunt, and they were about as unpleasant as always. When they tried to tell Ida her mother's name, a trap was triggered and the uncle sacrificed himself so that Ida could live. I did not get a name, and I do not no longer have an uncle and an aunt. Fortunately, my cousin is somewhere in the Navy, so we'll hopefully find him later. We left. Ida took a quick breather on top of some roofs and noticed how the grain silos were burning, and that it's going to be a hard winter for Lightbridge after this. Joined the others. They had lost Lyle. I met my evil twin, and she has the most awesome tramp stamp in the history of tramp stamps. Speak, friend, and enter in Dwarven written over. Awesome. We got Lyle out of the mirror and went back to the mansion to get some rest, where Ida and Evrak had a small heart-to-heart and decided they would start trading food from Louisenthal to Lightbridge. Then we slept on it and had a fun little encounter with the captain, who wanted to talk to Lainey but didn't have the time, before we all ran off to help at the halfway house, where unfortunately things had gone really bad really quickly. And it seems like we're down one Minotaur gatekeeper and a cousin, unfortunately. Then we showed up in what we believe is Hollowhouse because we found Baldegunde and Belly Tumbler there. Baldegunde is at brink of death, and Belly Tumbler is heavily poisoned, so that's not very fun, and we're trying to get them out to seek help. Captain?
Oh, you kind of fill in most of the blanks. Other than literally running to the halfway house to get through the portal before it was totally closed. You had the trap that Ida set off, but your uncle saved itself. Lyle, yeah, got sucked into there. Yeah, I think it covered mostly everything that I can think of. Yeah, we did have a little talk about a trade with Louisenthal as soon as we can get things going, because Lightbridge is going to need food, so we're going to try and get things going. But now we're in Hollowfast. Some type of tentacle monsters with poison that's really bad. There was again Belly Tumbler, Balagumbar, and I forgot the dwarf's name that was there who was giving chest compressions to Balagumba to save her until we get our war priest in there to do some healing. At least try and stop the flow of the poison, which we find it's really strong poison. I'll pass it to our war priest.
So we flip the table of Lightbridge over. We throw it all into chaos and disorder. We killed the important bad guys. We have to find out who the king in yellow is because he keeps defiling my shrines. And now we're ready to do it again in Hollowfast.
I guess that leaves me, huh?
Yes.
Last time, Tasha disapproved of the way Ida's aunt and uncle were talking to Lainey. She disapproved of herself being incompetent, thus losing Lyle to an undefined space. She approved of getting Lyle back without him having lost any life, or hopefully without him getting more gray hairs. She approved of the long rest they got in the mansion. She also approved of Lyle getting a nice little trinket from his long-lost family. She disapproved of her brother being a bard and singing raunchy songs to the city guard, but she approved of the effect having the city guard fight even harder. She very much disapproved of Ivy's death, and she even more disapproved of the state she found Baldegunde being in, knowing that if they don't make it to the Temple of Life, no, the Temple of, sorry, I noted it down, Eternity probably.
Eternity.
Thank you. If they don't make it to the, why did I not mark that in yellow? Wow. They don't make it to the Temple of Eternity, possibly binding Baldegunde to her, which is usually a necromancer thing. Her love might die, which is very, very disapproved of. Also, tentacles, poison, traps, burning stuff, and chaos. That's it.
Very well. So, you have you're in the what you assume to be from the looks of it, third floor of a building. You don't know the name of it, but presumptuously or presumably the inn run by the Order of the Unobscured Star in Hollowfaust. And you just fixed a ever-falling hole, or hole with no bottom trap. Standing around, keeping chill, I assume. So, what are your plans?
I'm gonna search for more traps.
I would like to also look around with the monocle and see if I see anything obvious.
Made that three of us.
I'm just drawing my sword ready for battle.
Right. Searching the room. You find no more traps in the room you're in. You're fairly certain.
Do I see anything as far as like footprints or anything like that? Like no magical stuff, I assume.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's this seems to be from what you're seeing the guest quarters of an inn. So there's the combination of a lot of travel and a lot of cleaning, making it difficult to set anything. But to give us a, let's see, you do recognize partial footprint that you're fairly certain is from one of those green Lengghouls.
So Lyle's like crouched down. He's looking on the floor and he's like, I think we got a certain kind of company around here, and I'm gonna start to like follow, if I can, those particular footprints.
Yep. They lead you towards the door in the lower left corner of the room.
I'll just look back. Go ahead.
I'm just gonna follow Lyle silently with my weapon, rapier drawn.
I'll just put my hand on her shoulder and I'll look at Evrock and I'll be like, I'm pretty sure this is the door, sir.
Do you see any traps on the door?
The door itself is not trapped, but it is locked. As far as you know.
Do we need to specifically roll to check this door for traps?
No, I count it as part of the room that you checked. Anything you can access through the room would be. That's how I do that.
Okay.
Ida easily picks the lock.
Okay, so which door are we looking at?
The lower left one.
Okay, got it.
I'll take a step back and let the captain through.
I'll cautiously head through it. Oh, lovely.
Right, cautiously heading through it. I am going to need a. Let's see, where is this saying? DC 26 reflex save.
Okay.
Evrock easily jumps over what you can now see is another bottomless pit trap on the other side of the room.
There's a pit. And some enemies.
And skeletons. Lots of them. And some ghouls.
Lovely.
And we will...
Did you reshare the map with Fionn? Oh, Finn's lost the map, I believe.
But I have reshared it now. Right, how far... you were moving cautiously, so I'll see you get there. And then we will go into combat with initiatives where, by some sort of small miracle, Victor actually has the highest initiative.
Said there's a pit in front of the door, right?
That is correct, sir.
I'm going to use a leap action to jump over it.
Right.
And then I'm going to use my last action to whammo the skeleton.
Very well. These skeletons they're not they're not your mama's or your grandpappy's skeletons. These look solid and very heavily armored.
I'm going to assume a 36 hits.
That is correct, sir.
And then I'm going to do 33 damage.
Right, so Victor jumps up and smacks that skeleton butt good, but the armor it's wearing is very solid. He dents it, but the skeleton does not fall to pieces. Which takes us to Laney.
Okay, so Laney's gonna roll for stealth first.
She's pretty certain she's invisible. That's a leap.
Yep. Following Victor.
Very well. Is that all?
Nope.
I'll assume it is.
She's going to throw a dagger. Then I can select a target. The closest one. There we go.
And what is she throwing the dagger at?
Did the target not take?
No, the target did not take. So, what is she targeting?
Following up on Victor's hit.
Right. Well, give us a damage roll, sir. Damage. Yep. Says that would have been a lethal hit for anything with a pulse, but for a skeleton, it doesn't really care too much. And nope. Sorry, everybody. I've got a bit of a cold and a bit of a runny nose. That takes us to Tonka.
Tonka? I don't think Tonka can, like, barge through this door and get into that room. So honestly, I think Tonka's just gonna watch our back. Lyle just kind of points at him and he does a little thing to his head. And Tonka's just gonna sit here and watch our back here. He can hold an action, I assume, if anything comes around the corner or anything like that.
Yes, he can, sir.
So yeah, I'll just tell Tonka to wait there in case anything comes up behind us.
Excellent. Do 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 do. Right, so that would be. That takes us to Zagul, one of them at least. That and it pulls up a scroll, reading it and firing 6 magic missiles into Ebrok. Wow, that's impressive. For a total of 16 damage. That's fantastic. And the other ghoul, which does the exact same thing. Reading a scroll, firing another 6 magic missiles into Ebrok for 22 damage. And the skeleton. It is already close to Victor. So it simply what's this thing do? Alright. Simply slashes at him. But it's short stabbing sword. Whacking him for a total of 19 damage. And that's Rain.
Rain is was still sitting on the floor. She now gets up and flies behind Lyle to be able to see in the room. And she uses guidance on him.
Ah. Mr. Lyle has been guided.
She also activates. I think she can still do that. Her vital beacon, so that it is ready when she needs it.
Very well. That takes us to Ida.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fly into the next room. Sorry for the backdraft, people, but I know there's a hole in there.
Okay.
And then I'll... Which one? They are skeleton dashes, right?
Yes, the S's are skeletons.
Mm-hmm.
Big old skeletons.
And then I'll place myself here and go for the ones right in front of me.
Okay. Do the thing. That is actually a miss. Ida tries to stab it and it blocks with its big heavy shield.
Was that 1 or 2 movement when I was flying and not leaping over?
I'd say that was 1, because you can't fly.
I'm on fire today.
Yes, indeed you are. You actually managed to try to stab the skeleton, which blocks with its shield. Ida's grip on her rapier is kind of loose, so it bounces off of the shield, falls into the chest to her left. Startled, she kicks the chest so the lid falls down, and she hears a locking sound. The skeleton, Ida could swear that thing looks amused by the whole thing, even though it has no skin or sinews in the face. And it goes ahead and pokes Ida for 23 with its short sword. For raising shield. That takes it to Tasha.
Beautiful. Tasha is gonna cast Airwalk on Lyle. So you can now walk on air as if it were solid ground, and you can ascend and descend in this way at a maximum of 45-degree angle. Holds for 5 minutes, but so you don't have to jump over this hole. And can she just stick her head around to see what's going on without entering the room, or is that not possible?
Yeah, I mean, she can poke her head around. She'd see Victor, Laney, Evrock, Ida, and actually 3 of the skeletons, I believe.
Okay, so she's just gonna be like nodding towards Lal, and she's gonna stay back.
Very well.
She's pretty sure that since skeletons are the speciality of Ida and Evrock and Victor, they got this.
Right, that takes us to Lal.
Well, Lyle is still like crouched down in the dirt, and he's going to pull his hood up a little bit and look at the 2 who buffed him, give him a nice wink, and then I would like to stealth.
Very well, sir.
And then I will...
I'm fairly certain nobody can see him.
And then I will, since I can walk through air, I'm going to go into this doorway, but I'm going to sit near the roof when I get inside. So like right here. And then I'll use my last action to take a shot at the skeleton closest to Victor.
Go for it, sir. What are you shooting with, bow or gun?
I'm going to use the bow.
Very well. Well, that is a critical.
The buff! That's the buff he got from Tasha.
Today on Buffing Bilbo.
So it'd be like, what, 30?
Yep, correct.
Oh,
Lyle
really?
actually
I get a
puts an arrow
D10 as
through his
well.
eye.
I forgot to hold, what was it, shift to do a critical? My apologies. So it would be 40 some odd. The 10s.
Very well. Yeah, Lyle puts an arrow through the eye socket of the skeleton. Again, would have been lethal if it, actually had a brain. But being a pile of animated bones, seems to not really care that much.
And that would be my turn, sir.
Right. This skeleton here moves up. And, tries to, smack Evrock with its shield. But only ends up smacking its shield into Evrock's and not really doing much, except making an awful din. Terrible noise. And this one back here is gonna move up and try to stab Evrock with its spear. Which it does. For a total of 24 damage. And it's Evrock's turn.
Well, I'm sorry if this is going to affect other people, but you all stepped in front of me, so too bad. I'm using the Horn of Blasting, and I'm going to go right through here.
Right. See, that's a cone attack, so...
And I'm doing the once a day, one per day, which is I'm blowing it as loud as I can. It's 8d6 sonic damage. Each creature attempt has a DC 28.
Go for it, sir. The only one... Let's see. No. You actually have a clear shot at everything except the skeleton up to the northwest of Victor. These skeletons definitely are affected by the very loud blast of sound from Evrock, and the ghouls also seem to find the very loud music unpleasant. To say the very least.
If they save, no damage. If they do a critical success, no damage. A regular success is half damage. A failure is full damage with deafening for 2d6 rounds.
Right, yes. Evrock has done good solid work with the horn blowing. Gondor Cold Raid, and there's a lot of damage done to everybody. Not in the least to one of the traps, which goes off. And a cloud of yellow mold spores envelop Ida, who needs to give me a DC 20 something. Give us a moment, I love. DC 26 Fortitude save. And her dice are on fire. So she starts coughing as she breathes in the yellow mold spores. Otherwise seems to be well, doing Ida stuff. Very Ida-ish, if you will. She does feel pretty tired. She has a drained 1 effect on her now. That takes us to... That's the mold. That's already been... It's already been triggered by the blast of sound, so it is Victor's turn.
I'm going to enter my martial stance. Is that a success, I'm going to assume?
Yes, it is, I would say.
Okay, +1 attack and saves against mental effects to everyone within 10 feet of me. Followed by whammo.
Oh, crap. That's a critical, all right. That is definitely critical, good sir. Damn it. My nose is itchy. Super itchy. That's a lot of damage. Holy carp. Yeah, Victor decides that this big old heavily armored skeleton really doesn't need to exist anymore. And then he whams it and completely annihilates the thing. It falls down in a the clatter of bones and armor plating.
Kaputt.
So that was your second action.
And that's
on
a
the,
second swing.
the second swing is blocked by the other skeleton, being on the careful side and getting his shield up quickly to avoid Victor's hockey stick of doom. That takes us to Laney.
Laney's going to tumble through the skeleton in front of Victor.
Very well. And let's see
then-
here. I'm gonna need a save from Laney in a moment. She tumbles straight into a trap. There we go. Give us a DC 32 will save, sir. Ha! Laney succeeds. For a moment, Laney feels very chickeny thoughts. But she manages to focus and not turn into a chicken.
Okay.
Would a +1 make that a critical?
Not a critical, no. There we go.
Okay. Laney's going to use a rapier to strike at the skeleton in front of Ida.
Very well. Laney goes for the skeleton, which seems to have mastered the art of disarming while blocking. And her rapier bounces off, flies up, and sticks in the roof.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a DC 26 Fortitude save from Laney, by the way, because she's standing in a cloud of mold spores.
Yeah.
Nope. So, another round of coughing as Laney also runs into the mold spores. And that takes us to Tonka, who I assume still is holding.
Yeah, Tonka's gonna sit there and hold back.
Right. Which means that Tonka is sitting there, ready as one of the Leng assassins comes around out of a small portal and starts moving towards Tasha. So Tonka gets his full turn.
Well, as Tonka is sitting there waiting, he's gonna go ahead and bite this man who ran around the corner.
I mean, more kind of pops out of a dimensional rift, but yes, the concept is the same.
Yeah.
So the first bite is a miss.
I'm rolling shit.
The second bite is a miss.
I might as well go 3 for 3.
And the third bite is a miss.
Alright, well, you know, this doggo was sitting there waiting, and he was not effective in what he was doing.
So this individual here tumbles or takes a run, slides under Tonka in like a football slide, pops up behind Tasha, and tries to bite her. But only manages to get himself a mouthful of very thick coat. Which takes us to the two ghouls. Let's see the first one here. My bad. Is going to go for Laney. Slashes with its claw. And hits Laney for 2d6 damage. And I will need a DC 28 Fortitude save as well. Yep, Laney is not paralyzed. And it slashes again. Hits again. So that is a 15 and a 16 hit on Laney.
Take a liberating step, my dear. That's 10 less at least. And it's exalted, so you can get 15 feet.
Right.
Oh, 11 less, actually, since I'm level 11 now.
There we
that
go.
means the other one is going to move there, then. And go for Laney again. Ooh, that is... Let's see, what did you say? Hold shift for a critical?
Yes.
Excellent. Slashes Laney with his claws for 36 damage. And slashes her for another 13 damage. Laney's getting torn up by those ghouls back there. Taking us to Rain.
Yes, Rain can actually get a glimpse at the two skeletons in front of Ivrak. At least my
That
map
is correct.
does. So she is going to cast an electric arc on it is 1 or 2 targets, so it's a basic reflex save.
Yeah, she seems to hit him pretty good with the electric arc.
And she's also casting another guidance, so this time on Tasha.
On Tasha. Got it. And it's Ida's turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to open this chest. That's a critical.
Yeah. Ida just picks the lock to the chest in less than 2 seconds. Retrieving her rapier.
And attacking the skeleton behind me. Not the one that's fighting Evrak, but the one that's between me and the ghoul.
Got it. That is a hit.
Which is gonna double to 28.
Yes. And you have 1/3 action, because that critical lockpicking, I'll count that as retrieving your weapon as well.
Okay. And we're back.
Right. And I'm gonna need another DC 26 Fortitude from Ida. She takes 6 damage from the poisonous mold spores she's breathed in. And she is now drained 2. As the poison gets worse and worse. Excellent. Very well then. That takes us to another one of these bros. comes around Tonka, kind of ignoring the dog, ineffectually biting at the ear, and tries to bite Tasha again. This time it's a hit. And it bites Tasha for 13 and a DC 27 Fortitude save, please.
How much did you say did he bite me for? 13?
Correct.
Okay, what's the fortitude thing doing?
Well, Tasha, as it bites Tasha, she feels herself stiffening up. And she now has the clumsy 1 effect going on her. So her muscles stiffen and her fingers are no longer as dexterous. Skeleton in front of Evrock is just going to try to stab him with its sword, which it does. Stabs Evrock for another 17 damage.
My
Liberating
armor
step.
class is 36 right now.
36. And which, yeah, it would hit a 36.
Liberating step, Evrock.
You've already used Liberating Step this turn.
Different target.
All right.
Only once per, only 1 reaction per turn,
Okay.
even if there are different targets.
What was my damage?
17. Indeed. That takes us to Tasha. Tasha.
Yeah, she's not amused. So she's gonna look at the 2, I don't even know how they look, the weird assassins. And she's just gonna point the finger at the one and she's gonna cast Chain Lightning.
Oh, hello.
Please make a reflex DC, what is it, 30 saving throw? Well, I'll roll 8d12.
They look like that, by the way.
Great.
Yes, roll your damage, ma'am. That's a lot of damage. Okay. Then.
54 plus, wait, I have this whole status thing, I think plus 6, because I never can remember the feat quite correctly. So that would be 60 lightning damage.
Yeah.
Off when they make the save.
Both of them are properly shocked at that turn of events, but none of them go down.
Yeah, not as much.
That takes us to Lal.
Okay. So I assume I'm aware of these guys in this other room because of Tonka.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll back through the doorway.
Gotcha.
And I would like to take a shot at the one directly across from me.
Yes. I'll give you the pack tactics with Tonka as well. That is it.
And then I will, as I'm not very smart, I'll go ahead and add cold damage to my arrows. He'll pull an arrow out of his quiver and make them, frosty. And I'll take my second shot.
Boom. Is he also going to be up there with a growly man voice and going like, "Stay frosty"?
Stay frosty.
There we go. That is a hit indeed.
16 damage.
Pumping 2 arrows into that guy. He's already pretty, he's in pretty bad shape after that chain lightning, and Lyle's 2 arrows send him to the floor.
And I'll just sit close to the roof since I can fly apparently now, or walk on air as it were, and I'll just continue doing what I'm doing.
Very well. Let's see. This skeleton here is gonna try to smack Victor across the noggin with its shield. Let's check Victor's armor class. Nope. Victor blocks it with his weapon. It's not smacked across the head. Hum 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 hum. Hum 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 hum. Bum 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 bum. And that takes us to the skeleton fighting Ida, which is gonna try to smack her with its shield. Which it does.
I think I have deliberating strike. Same thing what Ida has, but I get an attack an adjacent target.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do. Go for it. So that is, 11 less damage to Ida, so she takes 12. And Evrock goes ahead and smacks that skeleton. Evrock seems to have targeted himself again. I don't really know how that happens. I'm gonna clear Evrock as a target for himself. There we go, and yes. Roll me some damage, good sir, as you smack that skeleton across the noggin. For 15. Which is practical, because it is Evrock's turn next.
I'm going to use the Executioner Strike on the same one I swung upon.
Go for it. It actually manages... No, it's flanked, so it's hit. Roll me some damage, good sir.
Okay, so that's an extra 2d6 holy damage, too.
Yes. Yes, in a strike that definitely would have been lethal if this thing was alive. Evrock swings his bastard sword would have eviscerated it, but being an undead skeleton type of person, it doesn't really care that much. Well, it takes damage, of course, but the whole organs being destroyed is sort of wasted on it.
Plus, it also took holy damage, too. So.
Correct. It does take the holy damage. But this brings us around to Victor.
$23,
Yes, that is a miss, I'm afraid.
followed by
That
a
is it.
34.
Swinging his weapon into that skeleton and doing a fair amount of damage. These things, though, you've never faced skeletons quite this durable. Seems like
And then for
Hollowfaust
my
being
third
famed
action,
for
I'm
its
going
undead is
to
correct.
cast the shield spell.
Shield, indeed.
+1 AC.
Right. That takes us to Lainey, who needs to give me a DC 26 Fortitude again. She's still coughing with the mold spores.
Failed.
Nope. So she's going to be even more drained. Not to mention taking 7 poison damage. Right, it is Lainey's turn, though.
Yeah, Laney's going to get the hell out.
Right, moving down to Ida.
Going to attack the skeleton in front of Ida with a short sword in passing.
That is it, good sir. Lenny smacks it up good.
And,
And
then
you'll
she's
need
gonna-
to give me a you'll need to give me a DC 20 athletics to be able to move through those enemies there. Yep, she
How's
does
that?
manage to do that.
She tumbles through and ends up behind Victor.
Up behind Victor. Gotcha. Takes us to Tonka. The big dog. Woof, woof.
Well, after this man slides between Tonka's legs and all that, he's going to turn around and try to give him a little nip, as it were.
That is a hit, good sir.
Okay. Oh, that would be 43 damage, sir.
43 indeed. So Tonka turns around, places his mouth over the head of that Leng assassin, and it goes crunch.
Is he dead?
Yes, very much so.
Alright, then Tonka's going to turn around and he's going to face back that way just in case anything else comes down.
Very well. Right, the ghouls. The one behind the skeleton, fighting Ida, pulls up another scroll, reads it, and throws a small seed of flame down in between Victor and Evrock, which then blossoms into a fireball, meaning I'm gonna need a DC 22 reflex save from Ida, Victor, Evrock, Laney, and no, I'm
I am
gonna say
so
Wild's
much.
not hit.
I'm such on a roll today. That's my fifth 2. And 7th if we're counting 1s and 3s.
You've taken my role as fail all the reflex saves. Congratulations.
Right.
It's past 22. It's one from Victor and stuff, so
Yeah, you do actually pass, so.
Would like to do a reaction.
Okay.
She's gonna do scintillating safeguard on the people in the other room.
Interesting. What's that do?
So okay, first of all, what it's doing is that they will get a shield that will give them a resistance 10 against the damage type of the triggering effect. So I suppose they will be getting a 10-point damage reduction.
Interesting. What does it look like when Tasha does that?
It's a good question. I haven't thought this through because I chose that spell literally today. It basically looks like a shield of transparent, pearlescent, bluish light that will just shimmer in front of them and take some of the brunt of the damage.
Gotcha. You can see that some of the or the skeletons hit by the fireball are definitely injured by it. Let's see, and the other Langul, noticing that doesn't really do much. The fireball, it pulls out a scroll and casts a cloud kill.
What was the damage on that fireball, Shago? You never actually said.
It was 21. So you take 10 fire damage. So it moves there. Casts a cloud kill in the same spot. So the same people need to give me a DC 22 Fortitude save. Man,
Once again, a 2.
you are just on fire, aren't you? With
Plus
with
1,
your
so
saves.
21.
Yeah, but -2 for the drains. So
That's already
9.
counted.
Oh yes, it is. My bad.
Effects minus, yeah.
My bad. Still, Ida does not make the save and takes some damage breathing in the poisonous fog. That is going to be 33 poison damage to Ida. And that takes us to Rain, who can now see a roiling cloud of mustard yellow fog. And hear Ida coughing and cursing in there.
Well, in that case, you can hear her screaming, "Leave my friends alone!" And she turns into a wind elemental and just bursts into the room, trying to
Okay.
disperse this yellow fog.
Very well. What is her size as an elemental, by the way?
It should be middle-sized.
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe I place her. Where would she have to go to try to dispel this fog?
roughly there, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And she disperses the poisonous fog and the spores.
Yep. And her AC also changes. Give me a moment to tell you how. There it is. I have an AC of 28 now, and get 10 temporary hit points.
Got it. Rain at the moment is flying around as a little cloud or air elemental.
Yeah, it's
And
medium sized.
it is Ida's turn. I'm gonna need a DC 26 Fortitude from her.
Seriously?
Okay, come on. That can't be true. Sorry.
I
Change the
am
color of your
gonna...
dice.
I did!
That's bullshit. That's real bullshit. Come on, Fantasy Grounds.
2!
So
2 again!
Ida takes 13 poison damage and is now drained 3. She keeps coughing.
Your drained 1 to Ida is not actually increasing her drained effect. It's staying at drained 1.
Oh,
You're just telling it that be drained 1 multiple times.
Son of a biscuit. Ah, well.
Hey, and I just lost the map.
What?
Yeah, it got darker.
All I see is one skeleton. I don't see no figures and one skeleton.
Huh?
I think you turned the light off because mine's in grayscale.
I did nothing to the map at all. I removed one of Ida's drained effects, and that seems to have done something weird. Huh. Where is Ida at the moment? Okay, that's kind of confusing, but we'll make it work somehow. Oh, Ida's disappeared from the tracker as well.
Everyone's disappeared. I don't even see my token.
That is even
also
weirder.
See in grayscales, and Victor is doing like a tumble there.
I think
I
Victor's like breakdancing at this point.
I have no idea why anything that happened here would affect any map.
Maybe
means...
Ida had a light spell or something on her that you gave her so that the others could see the map. I think I remember you did something like that. when
she is
our
back
night
now.
vision didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the stream, the map is definitely grayscale at this point.
I'm gonna have a look. What in the world? There is absolutely nothing I've done that should be doing that. I have no idea how to undo it. But we're just gonna have, as long as you can see the enemies, we're just gonna have to deal with it.
I only see one enemy.
Huh. Oakley dokley. Well, we'll have to try to deal with it. Ida still has her turn, even though she's coughing and feeling bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to acrobatics behind Evrock there. Get out of the way.
Okay. Roll as a roll, lady. Yeah, that works, definitely. So,
And I'll stab the skeleton I can reach that's flanked by Rain there.
right. Stabby. Go for it. That is a miss and a critical. Ah, okay. Well,
And double that, please.
Ida tumbles over Evrock and just takes the head straight off the skeleton there. Killing it super dead.
That was doubled already, Ida.
Yeah, but my rapier also doubles damage to corporeal undeads.
Right.
So it's a double.
Yes. This is kind of Ida's thing, clearing out that sort of enemy. As long as she doesn't keep locking her rapiers in random chests standing around. Which tends to limit her combat efficiency. Tasha, it is your turn, good lady.
Oh boy.
Wait. Yes.
She would actually like to use a feat called where is it? Soul Sight. And use sort of a seek action to see if there is any more creatures in the room she is with Tonka, if there's anything lurking behind or in the darkness around the corner from where the other two assassins came.
Oh.
I have no idea how this works though.
Tasha activates her soul sight, and she can see looks like a transparent skeletal head looking at you. As Tasha focuses on it, it winks out of existence and disappears. But she's pretty certain somebody's been scrying on you this entire fight.
Oh, good. Anyone she recognizes?
Well, it's kind of hard to say without any skin or any flesh on the face. It looks like a skeletal head.
Okie dokie. If you still allow it, I mean, she would stick the head into the other room to see if she can hit anyone with a lightning bolt. But I don't think she has a shot.
A lightning bolt in such a small space with a lot of angles. She is very uncertain whether she can avoid that bouncing back and injuring any of her friends. She can hit a skeleton, but where that lightning bolt is going to go when it hits the stone wall and bounces is difficult to say.
Is any of the skeletons within 30 feet reach of her?
Yes, indeed. Both of them are.
She would like to cast slow on the skeleton that is closest to her.
Okay.
That is fortitude 30 saving throw.
Yeah, the skeleton visibly slows down.
Okay, so did it succeed or did it just fail?
It failed.
Then it slowed one for 1 minute.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, that skeleton's not going to be very effective anymore. Speaking of skeletons, it's Lyle's turn.
Okay. I'm gonna duck my head through this door a little bit and skirmish strike in and shoot the closest skeleton.
Very well. That is a hit.
Be 16 damage, sir.
Yep, the arrow chips some more bone off the skeleton, but these things super durable.
And then I'll take a second shot at him. Then I got my dice back from Ida, and I rolled a 2.
Right. You can hear Rain cursing as the arrow passes through the wind that she is now, but it doesn't actually hurt her any.
Lyle just kind of puts his head down a little bit and like, and I'll go ahead and save that third action. I'll pass for now.
Right. The skeleton that's slowed just moves its shield up. While this one here comes walking down and tries to smack Evrock about with its.
If he's, do I get a opportunity strike since he's coming into my field?
You would get
No.
one if he came in and then left, but not just for entering.
And he left
It's only
mine,
if he
so-
leaves.
Oh, I can't see a thing. So
Yeah, no worries.
Do I get one since he left my range?
Opportunity attacks are a feat, Shion. So you have to be
Okay.
a fighter or have some other way of getting the opportunity attack feat.
Indeed. And that thing actually. Oh, that's the wrong button. That thing actually comes up and smacks Evrock for 42 damage.
Take a liberating step.
So 31 damage. And it is now Evrock's turn.
I can't see anything. I'm just going to swing at something.
Yep, you got 2 skeletons. So I'm just going to assume you're going to town on them. That is a hit. In the world. So that's 1 hit. That is a critical. Rock gathers his holy power, smacking that thing to smithereens, and the bones fall to ash, and the armor melts from the holy fire as it falls over.
And Ray's shield.
And raise shield, gotcha. Hum 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 hum. That takes us to Victor.
Victor is going to hold aloft his holy greatsword and cast a 3-action heal. All friendlies are going to heal 5d10, and then all of the enemy undead are going to have to take a fortitude save.
Gotcha.
And it's a 30-foot emanation, so if you're within 30 feet of me and you're a friendly living, you heal 27. If you're a hostile undead, you need to take a DC 29 fortitude save.
Right. Yep.
Does Tasha get that as well, even though she's in the other room?
Oh yes.
Yes.
It's not
It's a
blocked by
30-foot
walls.
emanation. It basically hits the whole building.
Victor is being very holy at the moment. Which takes us to Laney and another DC 26 fortitude save.
Nope, not this time.
Oh dear.
Lainey's still making fortitude saves, even though she's all the way behind me.
Yeah, because she breathed in spores, and being behind you doesn't really do much about that. And she takes another 20 poison damage. It's Tonka's turn. Woof woof.
Honestly, he's too big to get through here, right?
He can squeeze through, but it's gonna take a bit of wiggling for him.
I think Tonka's just gonna, like, go around this corner and see if there's anything he can, like, he's just gonna sniff around and investigate. I don't think he's gonna try to push his way through.
Got it.
So, I'll, did you want a perception or anything like that?
Yes, give us a perception, good sir.
Yeah, 35.
Oh, Tonka starts digging. He's found something hidden. You don't know what yet, but it smells like something Tonka thinks is valuable.
Okay, well, he's just gonna keep an eye on this room. He's not gonna, like I said, he's not gonna push his way through. Like, he's too large, and there's poison in there, so.
Yeah, the ghouls, both of them, pull out scrolls, read them, and disappear in a flash of blue lights, blue magical lights. Which takes us to Rain.
Yeah. She's still in her elemental form, so she is going to attack the last remaining skeleton.
Gotcha.
Let me see. She does have an unarmed melee attack modifier plus 18. It's dex based, so that's another plus 3, I guess. So it's this one.
That is definitely a hit. It being flanked by Ebrock.
Okay. And then it's damage.
Oh, okay. Smacks it good. Pulling some ribs out of the armor.
And if I'm not sure if the elemental can speak. I couldn't find anything in the spell, but if it can, you probably hear something like with the punch. This one is for Ida.
Right. Was Rain gonna take another attack?
Oh,
Or have I misunderstood something?
oh, yeah, it's. I was still in the other edition where I can only attack once. So yeah, she does attack another
Okay.
time. Did it not roll? Probably didn't land in the chat
It
window.
did not roll.
Whoop. And there we go.
Well, that's a critical.
She is on fire. Shift it was, right? For a crit?
Yes. Channeling a powerful gust of wind.
Didn't do much
Rain
for-
just tears the skeleton into tiny pieces and sends them flying across the room.
Okay, now I can see everything.
What in the... I have absolutely no idea why that would be happening. However, we still need to stick within turns until we've taken care of your slight poisoned teammates issue. So we'll go straight to Tasha.
She will. That's not really something she can do. She's gonna. I think she's gonna actually move up with Tonka and see what he found.
Wolf.
So I don't know where Tonka is. I think he moved.
Anka is full. He's pulling out some sort of stash. It looks like that's been hidden in this inn at some point.
She would. Well, she would pull off her hat and like look at him and be like, "Drop it in there for now if you want to." I don't know if he would rather wants to give it to Lyle.
Well, he's pretty much just asking Lyle with their emotional bond where you should drop it in the hat or bring it to him.
No, he'll put it in the hat. He loves Tasha.
Yeah, well, it goes in the hat. Looks like a small locked chest of some sort, maybe in the style of perhaps an ancient coffer, if you will.
Yeah, she's gonna give him all the scritches.
Ah, he seems very happy. That takes us to Lyle.
I'm gonna look back and see what's going on between the doggo and Tasha and just kind of like give a little sneer a bit. And then he looks back through the door and he's like, "Is there anything violent in there that I can see?"
Only violent coughing from Ida and Lainey, nothing else.
So are we still in combat?
We do have effects that are ticking, so I'm gonna need to go through the initiatives until we've resolved that.
I understand. I can do nothing about that. So what I will do is play the smart halfling, and I will move as far away from where the poison is as possible.
Yes, the poison actually has been dissipated by Rain's wind elemental form.
Yeah, but I'm not great at trusting how the obvious things are obvious. So Lyle just kind of flies over to the corner and he sits there and he's like,
Yeah. Well, he's not so much flying as he's just walking in thin air. But,
Okay, so he walks over to the corner and he crouches down. He's like, I guess this is going to play out, but I can't do anything about it, so.
Right, that takes us to a rock.
I'm going to try and get as close. I can't get to Laney, too many people. I'll head up toward Rain and just be on guard.
Gotcha. And I'm gonna need a DC 26 Fortitude save from Ida. How many twos can you roll in a row?
See me do one more.
Oh, Ida finally manages to hack and cough herself back on track, expel the the mucus from the mold out of her lungs. Victor's turn.
Not like that, I'm not.
Nope. Victor tries giving Lainey some chest compressions, but doesn't seem to be working.
I'm gonna do another one to tend her wounds.
Excellent. Yes, that will be a success. So that's what, 32 hit points?
Yep.
Okay, that takes us to Lainey. I'm gonna need a DC 26 Fortitude save from her.
Come on.
I bet it was 33 hit points.
Oh dear. Lainey hacks, coughs, she's going blue, and falls to the floor, and she now has the Dying One effect going.
What?
She seems to be dying from the poison.
Excellent.
Damn it.
She's not quite dead yet, but she's definitely getting there.
Has anyone else got things they're doing, or can I just roll another medicine check?
I would go to her to try and neutralize the poison if it's my turn.
It's Tonka, and then it's Rain. Very well. Rain flies over to Lainey, neutralizes the poison, which will stabilize Lainey at 0 hit points.
Yeah. Was it 2 action? Yeah, I don't have any actions left for this turn.
So neutralize poison, you roll a spell check against the DC of the poison.
Right. Then roll the spell check, please.
Okay. Oh, no, come on. Total, there it is. 8. Will you give me the dice already?
Well, 20 on the spell roll is more than enough.
No,
So,
that was just the plus 20 I have in here. It's, it didn't roll anything.
Oh,
It just showed her what her bonus is, so she has to, if you just put 20 where it says modifier by the dice under the chat window, and then roll a
Yeah.
d20, it'll do it for you.
The last time I was able to roll it in there.
There we go. The spell is neutralized. And Lainey is quite simply at 0 hit points and wounded instead.
Alright, I come here, she shouts to her. I guess Ida's still coughing as well.
Nope.
I stopped coughing and is
Okay.
drying my mouth.
And we are now officially out of combat.
In that case, Lainey gets the first heal from the beacon.
I'm going to treat everyone's wounds for 43.
Right, so that's 43 hit points back to everybody as Victor starts binding your wounds.
Lyle comes down from the ceiling. He's gonna go pet the doggo and just be like, man, we should probably not be in poison clouds.
Nope, we shouldn't.
Let's avoid that. And those spores were even worse, actually.
Anyone still feels weak? I can try to treat it.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to my aid and leaving Tonka to protect me, Lyle. That was very nice of you.
I think we've seen kind of a pattern. Lyle just like looks around, like, I feel like everything's out to kill you, honestly, so maybe we have to watch our backs, as it were.
Actually, while we were fighting, I could see someone scrying on us. But whoever it was, it just looked like a skeletal head. It just popped out of existence as soon as it noticed that I was looking at it, so...
And Lyle makes a face. He's kind of confused. He's like, wait, what? Say that again? Because I looked around this entire room with my monocle and I didn't see anything. You're saying that something was watching us?
I'm not sure how your monocle works. Let's say if I open my mind, I can see souls. I can see anything that is soul-like, whether it has a body or not. And there was just a spectral head floating in the room Tonka and I were in. And it just winked at me and then vanished. So something was watching us, clearly. It looked like it was maybe a scrying spell? I don't know.
I don't think I like where we're at. I don't like this situation, I'll tell you now.
I also do not like the fact that it's popping up a lot of spells in the bar here.
Yeah, I rolled a 27 to check Ida if she still has any conditions that needs treatment.
I'm testing out the targeting thing to see how that works. Ida does not. Well, she's drained, but there's nothing you can really do about that unless you have any spells that remove the drained effect, or she gets a good night's sleep.
Yeah, well, I wrote down what treat condition can cure. It would be clumsy, unfeedable, or sickened. So I guess drained is not in that.
The feat to remove drained using the medicine check is level 15.
But you do have Tasha, who is stumbling around and making glasses fall and break, and generally being clumsy.
Lyle's gonna walk over and he's gonna give her a little elbow and be like, so what's in the box?
That is a very good question. Tasha removes the box carefully from the head of many pouches. Tonka found this thing.
I mean, call it a guess, but somehow I knew that.
I'm not surprised. You and Tonka have a very tight-knit band of friendship there.
Woof.
Yeah. Can Tasha determine with the detect magic if the thing is magical?
There's magic inside it.
Well-
The box itself isn't magical, but Tasha recognizes the type of wood used to craft the box as a sort of wood used in hollow files to mask magical auras. So she wouldn't be able to sense anything magical inside it unless she was holding it, which she is.
Oh, Tasha, maybe you should sit down before you hit your head. Let me treat you, okay?
I haven't moved for sure. I'm just gonna be here very quiet. It's okay. I don't want to open this, to be honest. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could imagine that this thing might have some sort of trap mechanism or whatever, but there's something magical inside, so if we want to find out what's in the box, we have to open the box.
I feel like we know somebody who should be checking this box before we open it.
Yes.
It rhymes with Schmeida.
Or Maney.
Schmaney. I'm pretty sure she's over there recovering from almost dying, so...
Wait, what? What?
Lyle just looks around and he looks at Lainey, who was over there just poisoned and coughing up all that bullshit, and he just...
I mean, Tasha hasn't looked in the room for a while, so...
Yeah,
She's not poisoned anymore. I took care of that. She's not poisoned anymore. She's not dying. No.
It's fine.
And Rain falls into kind of panic, hearing Lyle saying she's still dying.
I said she was dying, see. Lyle just looks around, he shakes his head, and he's like, man, I'm so misunderstood in this party.
Cousin, what are you doing? I thought we talked about this.
I know. I know.
Have you maybe
I didn't get
considered
out of the way.
using range weapons or something?
I do have a bow. I did throw one of my daggers as a
What?
first attack.
Lanny,
Yes, Captain.
is that your rapier stuck in the ceiling?
Yes, it is, Captain. I'll guess it in a moment.
Well,
Let me
was
get it
wondering how
down
I
for
got
you.
it there.
How tall is the ceiling?
Well, it's a fairly large inn, so I'd say the ceiling is about 12 feet up.
Since I can walk through the air, can I just walk up there and pull her sword down?
Yep.
So I'll just walk up there and I'll pull her sword down. I'll just shake my head and I'll look at her and I'll be like, maybe not what you need to do when it comes to these sort of situations. Just saying.
Let's face it, she didn't lock it away. I did.
He kind of looks over at Ida and he goes, listen, I want you guys to know, giving up your weapon in a fight, poor choice.
I'll keep it in mind.
As you should.
Me as well. Me as well. Thank you, Lyle.
Tasha gives Lainey a big old hug. Then she shakes her head at her.
I know. I know. Stay out of the way. Don't get hit.
You're nimble and
very-
fast. You can do it. I believe in you.
Yeah, well, the girls thought otherwise.
And they got away.
Yes, I'm not happy about that either.
Ida, would you do me the honor of opening this box? While we
Sure.
all wait in the other room. Just in case.
I'm gonna take a look at it and make sure there are no obvious traps for opening it, and then I'll bring forth the small lockpick and open it.
Very well. Give us a lockpicking thingamabob. Yep, Ida picks the lock. It's a very high quality lock. Expensive. She only barely manages to open it. But once she does, there is a cloak and a metal or like a cloak fastening thingamajigger with the Order of the Unobscured Star.
A clasp?
Clasp, yes. Thank you very much. In addition to a small, very finely crafted leather sheet with a flap going over it. Lifting the flap, Ida sees 5 different wands
Oh wow.
made of different trees and in different colors: blue, yellow, green, black, and white.
Well, this is your arena. I'm handing you the stuff from inside it. And I'm gonna keep this box.
Very well. Can Tasha identify what kind of stuffs wands these are?
She can, and she will, during the 10-minute break we're about to take for bio and coffee.
Oh,
While she's identifying things, I'm going to continue treating wounds until everyone's topped off.
And Rain just sits down in the corner, knees to her breast, and just sits there.
Right.
I just
we
want to
will
do
be
a
back
real check of the
in about 10 minutes, everybody. Taking
Too
a
many
quick break.
traps.
Yep. So we are waiting to go back again. There we go. Time. Right, so you're still there. You can now see rime starting to form on the western wall and feel cold emanating from outside.
That's not good.
Does this feel natural to me at all? Like I know I'm in tune with a lot of these elements and stuff.
Extremely unnatural. Very, very unnatural.
Lau just looks at the rhyme on the wall and he's just like shaking his head and he's like, guys, this is not okay.
I can't
Arena
place the
thinks
wall.
it might be a vampire that's feeling really cold. Forgot its socks.
What's not okay? And Rain tries to get a glimpse from behind Ida's wings.
On the western wall, you said.
Yes.
I mean, I can put up a wall of our own.
I think
So-
we should move. We need to get through.
Which wall?
I think we
western
should go downstairs
wall.
and greet our welcomers.
I guess those are stairs in the north.
You can all hear howling and gibbering from outside, and sort of a tekelili sound being repeated.
We should go now.
Yes. Is this in the off limits section of the city?
I don't know why it would be, but I'm gonna leave this room. Also, Lyle, take this. Tasha's just gonna put that cloak of greater cloak of elvenkind into Lyle's hands, assuming that is something for him.
I'll just stuff it in my pocket as there's more important things going on. And I'll look at Victor, who was like, we should go down the stairs. I'm like ushering everyone I can towards the stairs.
I'm gonna look for traps and lead on down the stairs.
Right. Give us a perception roll, ma'am.
Laney's right behind her.
Laney, no, you're not. You stay behind.
Rain
You've been hit too many times.
Rain stays very close to Laney.
Very well.
No, I can't see anything.
Me neither. I moved the map though, so maybe I just dropped.
I hope you just blacken the screen.
You come down the stairs to a large room with 4 marble busts of people. 3 of them you've never seen before, but you recognize the largest and fanciest one to be a bust of Thaddeus. Looking quite dashing in sort of a pirate's or a sea captain's overcoat.
Someone's home.
Well, that's definitely my father.
Tasha looks suspiciously at those busts. She's like,
I'm gonna do my best to look around the room.
Lyle's checking around the room, doing things.
Are these busts made out of stone? Marble?
It's not marble. They seem to be made of some sort of black volcanic stone, actually. Lyle's searching around the room, and he can hear from the other side of the room with the double doors on the eastern side of the room that somebody's walking up to them.
So Lyle's got his ear up against the door and he looks back and he goes, "We're about to have company. Be ready."
Which double doors? East or south?
East. And south.
Which one? I'm at the south door though, right?
Yep, but Lyle's got very good hearing with that roll, so he can hear both the eastern and the southern doors. Somebody's trying to sneak in through the southern doors, and somebody dressed in heavy armor and not really caring is moving through the eastern doors.
So I'm gonna knock a fire arrow this time, but I'm gonna look at the party and I'm gonna be like, we're about to have company," and he's waving his hand.
Gotcha.
Tasha's gonna urge people to move back actually, and she's gonna put up a wall of ice towards the eastern doors from top to bottom. So Tonka needs to move one to the left, and Ida needs to move one to the left.
Right, so she sets up a wall of ice there.
Yeah, basically from between those two busts from the northern end to the southern end. So both of those doors, if people come out, they will have to fight their way through the wall of ice first.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and as I said, Rain tries to stay close to Lainey so that she will not fall unconscious again and dying.
Right. As the southern door bursts open. Let's see here. You see one of the ghouls coming sprinting through, and to the east you can hear cursing. And somebody going, "Ah, the king in yellow will not be denied." And it's Ida's turn.
I can't see what's behind the ghoul. I'm gonna delay till after Evrock.
Gotcha.
Twirling my rapier and looking at Evrock.
Right, that takes us to Tonka.
Wolf. So he's too big to be in front of where Victor is to get to that goal, right?
Yeah, he's a pretty chunky boy.
Alright, so Tonka's gonna go stand in front of Rain then and wait for anything that comes through the door. I guess there's a wall there, huh?
Yep, big old
Alright.
wall of ice.
So Tonka's just gonna sit on his heels a bit and wait then.
Wolf. That takes us to Tasha.
She can see the ghoul.
That she can.
Lightning bolt. Give me a DC 30 basic reflex. Oh wow, that's a really bad one. Oof.
Yeah, the ghoul dodges most of that lightning bolt, but its
Yep.
its pinky finger gets kind of singed.
Mm-hmm. She curses under her breath in Necryl.
That takes us to Rain.
She's shooting an electric arc at the ghoul.
That's a lot better than my level 3 lightning bolt.
Right, the ghoul
And it's a
manages
cantrip.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's very sad.
Ghoul manages to dodge most of the electricity, but it's still kind of singed, you could say. And the ghoul itself is gonna pop out, and attack Victor.
With my last action point, I'm moving to Lainey.
You can't move down there because there's a big old wall of ice in front of it.
Oh,
in
okay.
those squares.
What? No, there is no. Oh yeah. She can. Yeah, that's true. There's a wall of ice.
Yep. Okay. It's very cold. Right, the ghoul pops up, tries to claw Victor. What in the... There we go. Tries to claw Victor. Scratches his shield. Curses in Neckril. Something about his mother playing poker and heck or something like that. It's hard to hear here. And then it bites him. So Victor gets bitten for 16.
Blue strike.
Okay, so Victor gets bitten for 5 damage.
Is he considered adjacent to me?
I would... No, you don't have the reach there, sadly. Close but no cigar.
Technically, I do.
No, you're not in an adjacent square. Oh, yeah, actually.
Technically, I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give you the blow. Go for it. Why not? First save, and... Rock smacks the ghoul, and I'm gonna need a save versus the paralysis as well, Victor. That's a 28 fortitude. Oof. Victor stiffens and is paralyzed. And Evrock smacks the ghoul. From behind you, you hear a skittering sound as something very large comes up the stairs.
I thought down the stairs.
I'm gonna give you a see if I can give us a picture here.
Victor, you could have moved back a few feet too, you know.
No, I can't. That's just when I doesn't do it.
Yeah. Huge, purple, nasty-looking spider comes skittering up the stairs from the first floor. Skitter, skitter, it says. Let's see. And it is going to try to bite Rain.
Nasty.
Yep, that's a bite, all right. So Rain takes 22 damage, and I will need a DC 33 Fortitude save from her.
Fortitude, there it is.
Nope. Meaning, she takes another 4 poison damage, and she is drained 1.
I'll assume that Tonka was surprised he wasn't like ready for it.
Take a liberating step, Rain, if you want.
Yeah, Tonka's gonna get his action after the spider.
I don't really have any space where I could stop. My there is
can
a
fly.
wall of ice around me. Yeah, okay, you're right.
And it's exalted, so you can move up to 15 feet. So you can get behind Tasha, for instance.
Yep, that's what I'm going to do.
Right. With its second
And
attack,
it's 11 less.
11 left. Okay, that's great. Thank
with
you.
its second attack, it spins a web, a bowl of web actually, that it flings at Rain. Yep, hitting her for 22 bludgeoning.
Ouch.
And the web tangles around her wings, and Rain is now prone, having been tripped. And it's Tonka.
Okay, so Tonka, who was kind of chilling, waiting, he sees the spider bite the pixie. The pixie runs. He sees the tangle in the webs, and Tonka's just gonna full-on jump at this spider.
Gotcha.
Be a 33 to hit, sir.
That is a hit, good sir. No, my bad. That is actually a miss.
Oh.
My apologies.
Then we'll go with the second attack, which is also a miss.
Yep.
And we'll go with the third.
Which
Also a
is
miss.
Also a miss.
So Tonka bites ineffectually once again.
Yep. It's kind of gnawing on the spider, but not really getting far. It's Evrock's turn.
Divine Smite and swing on the goal.
Gotcha. That is a solid hit, good sir. That ghoul is not having the time of his life. Its buddy kind of didn't come through coming through that door. And Evrock has one more action.
I'm going to raise my shield.
Raise shield, gotcha. Right, let's see. Let's go into here.
Then it's me because I'm after Evrock.
Right, my bad. Go for it. I'd forgotten
I'm
about
blinking,
that. Blinkety blink. Yep.
and I'm gonna stab it in the back with a divine smite.
I can't believe that.
Nope.
Seriously? Seriously? I'm just
That's
gonna go to bed.
It's a big old mess. Arwina or Ida stabs the floor instead.
That is
Mightily.
just- Sorry, but what did they patch into the last patch of Fantasy Grounds, honestly?
This
You have
can
bad
be
rolls.
real.
That's how it is sometimes. Such is life. That's a big old miss. She spent some time prying her rapier out of the floor after having stuck it to the hilt into the floor. Let me check this thing. Ah, there we go. Yeah, you hear somebody going, King in Yellow, light the way open for me, and then a pillar of fire strikes Tasha's wall of the thingamajigs, and a full plaid plate figure with a big old war flail strides through. Taking us to Lyle.
Oh man, Lyle's looking back and forth at the spider and the lady who just walked through the wall of ice after melting it. I'm going to Hunter's Mark her as she walks through.
Got it.
And then I will do the double shot.
First
Be a
one's a hit.
31. 20 damage.
Gotcha. Arrow strikes in the shoulder. Doesn't go through the armor, but the fire is definitely unpleasant.
Yeah, I'll take my second shot then.
And that one skitters off the plate armor.
Okay, and then Lyle will lean back behind the statue and try to do a bit of a stealth.
Got it. Yeah, he thinks nobody sees him.
Yeah, every time you say that. And that would be my turn.
Victor, good sir.
I'm going to unparalyze because that's the only thing I can do.
Very well. Victor is now feeling properly unparalyzed. Takes us to Laney.
Okay, Laney's going to skirmish strike the High Priest.
That is a hit. $16 damage. Gotcha. Right. And that's what is Laney moving up and then back. I can't hear you, Finn.
Yep, she's gonna end back where she started, unless she's
Thank
got
you.
another action.
That takes us around, and it's Ida's turn. No, Ida has waited until after
I
Evrock.
think
So
we normally just move you back into line.
yeah, that's easier. It's Ida's turn. That is a critical and a hit.
And those are doubling, as he is corporeal and undead.
Yep. Still up, but very, very reduced. After the
And
two
I'm gonna
mighty
use my
stabs from
last attack, because I'm really tired of this dude now, is gonna be casting Eradicate Undeath.
Oh, that's a one action cast? Interesting. What's it do?
.30-foot cone, 4d12 of positive damage.
Go for it.
Wouldn't that hit the high priest as well? And the spider?
Yes.
Only if they are undead.
They're not very undead, sadly. However, the ghoul is turned to dust by Ida's spell there. Yeah.
I like to picture it like she's holding out a rapier and channeling it through that.
Yes, Mr. Evrock.
I just realized I have one of my class abilities is lightning reflex.
Oh, what's that do?
I have no idea. It was given to me
well.
once. It was given to me when I made 9th level.
Well, we're gonna have to find out. It's Tonka's turn. It's Tonka's sights.
Okay, well, Tonka is very annoyed at this giant spider, but he would like to reposition himself so that he can be between the lady and the spider.
Okay.
So, like, right there.
Right.
And then we'll bite against the spider.
Oida.
The spider bub. Excellent.
Yeah, that's a wicked miss. And another miss.
Alright, well,
Tonka can't get a proper grip on the spider's kitten with his teeth.
So Tonka, like, moves himself, and he's, like, wiggling about, and he's trying, but, man, he just can't seem to do it.
It is Tasha's turn.
Yep. Tasha is also very tired of all this bullshit. But she's also very tired of people around her falling and potentially dying. So she is gonna close her eyes, and there is like Rain and Lyle both can feel it, like a wave of primal energy surging, and in a 20-foot burst around her, there is a field of life coming to, well, life.
Interesting.
And what that does is that each living creature that starts its turn in the area, that would include the others, I suppose. I cannot exclude them. I can, however, I can center the thing in a way that it includes us, but it excludes the enemy, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna basically put it in the corner by Lyle, so that her goal is that Tonka and everyone around her gets 1d8 hit point back at the start of their turns.
Excellent.
This is new to her, so she's hoping that this is only for friendlies. If the enemies get hit points, well, I guess it's something she's gonna learn. Character development and such.
Yes. Excellent.
So I think, yeah, whenever you start a turn in this burst, you get back 1d8 hit points.
That is mighty handy right there.
It is.
Right, so like little glittering gold and yellow motes are rising from the floor in the area around Tasha's life burst.
So to speak.
And it is Rain's turn.
Yes.
Oh, she's gonna raise shield, by the way.
Okay.
Although she is caught in the web, can she use her Staff of Fire?
Yes, she can.
Alrighty. In that case, I have a nice spell in here that is called a Fireball. And it seems, if I read it correctly in the description you gave me about it, it's 5th. So it's marked as 5th rank, maybe, I think, here.
5th level. Cast at 5th level, yes.
So how many d6 are that?
Let us check the
One
fireball.
moment.
That is gonna be 10d6 fire damage.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I will cast it on the figure that walked through the ice wall.
Very well.
So that Tonka will not be hit. I don't know the radius right now.
It is 20 feet.
Alright, so I guess I will cast it somewhere in the floor behind it so that it will get caught in it.
Yeah, she'd have line of sight for that.
Damn
35.
it.
Let me make a reflex saving throw here.
I don't know, for 10d6 that looks not as much.
I mean, the fun thing is it's a basic reflex, which means he can critically fail and take double damage.
Yep. Which is super fun. Right. Yeah. The dude does get a whiff of fire, kind of singeing him. But he is still very much standing. The spider chitters. Rain needs to make another DC 33 Fortitude save. Nope.
Yeah, I also get some points back. Let me do that first.
So she takes 10 poison damage.
Since
And
I got 5 back, it would be 5. Okay.
in addition to being drained, she's now confused.
Ouch.
She, the spider's poisonous is getting to her head and making her all sorts of confuzzled. So-
using my staff, was that a 2 action?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right, so she is confused at the moment. Not really certain who's who anymore in here.
I would like to use my last action point to use one of my vital beacons on myself.
Yes, do that. So 11 back to her. The spider bites at Tonka first. Hitting him. So that is 29 damage to Tonka and a DC 33 Fortitude save. Tonka saves.
How much damage again, sir?
29. And then it reaches over and bites at Tasha.
Tasha has an erased shield. So she
Yep.
gets blood plus 8 to her AC.
Plus 8. Ah, her magical shield manages to block.
Well, it's the staff you gave her.
Yeah. Manages
So,
to block the spider's fangs with the powerful magic of her staff. And then it flings a web bola at Laney. Yep, that's a hit. So that is 22 damage to Laney. And Laney is now prone, having been tripped by the web bola. Which takes us to Evrock.
Move in and swing on the high priest.
Go for it, sir.
$45.
That is a hit, good sir. That is actually a critical. Evrock smacks that individual for a lot of damage. It's a good hit. Oh, no, not 1,000 damage. That's a bit much.
That sounds good to me.
My bad. Yes, he has one more action.
Ray shield.
Great shield. Very well. Yeah. Priest drops a powerful spell, and there's a globe of searing sunlight that explodes in the area. Let's see. Forcing everybody to do a DC 38 reflex save. Right. And to anybody who didn't make their save, that is 64 fire damage.
64?
You said fire damage?
I said fire damage.
Okay.
Laney made it. She takes none. Same with Lyle. Dang.
Question?
Yes, sir.
One of the abilities you gave me. Resistance, and fire resistance.
Yeah.
Do I take full damage, half damage, what?
Fire
you
resistance is a number. It'll
Yeah,
be
you
like
take 10
resist
less.
fire 5 or 10.
Yeah. You take 10 less damage. Evrock takes 54 fire damage. 6-4, yes. Right. By the way, does Lyle have anything that makes him not take any damage on a correct save, or does he just take half?
I don't know. You told me I didn't take any damage, so I didn't even look, honestly.
Yeah, for a moment there I thought Lyle was Laney, but can't really explain why.
He does have
I'm a
evasion,
silly
yes.
bugger. Yeah, he has evasion, so he takes no damage. That's kind of what I thought. That's
Yep,
kind of what I
same.
thought.
Same for Laney.
Yep. And on his third action, he swings his warflail for Evrock, trying to smack him over the head with it. And Evrock easily blocks. He seems to be targeting himself. Let's stop that.
We keep on doing it.
Yeah. That takes us to Lao.
Okay, so I have a question.
Yes.
Watching Rain get bit by the spider and then fall down and all that, am I aware that she's confused?
She looks and sounds confused. She's like, I don't know who these people are. I wanted ice cream. Type of thing.
Okay. So I would like to skirmish strike at the High Priest and move forward.
Yes, sir. You can basically walk around the roof, can't you? So.
Yeah. I'm on the ground for this, so I want to point that out.
Okay, got it.
Another 2. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Your dice are on fire today. Hellfire.
I will take my second shot.
That is a hit. Yep, good damage. Seem to be wearing that individual down, but they're tough.
Okay, and with my last action, I want to grapple Rain. I just want to grab her.
Okay.
So Lau walks up, he shoots twice, he looks at Rain, and he goes, "This is not okay." And then he tries to just grab her.
Yep, that'll be versus her reflex 10 plus her reflex save, so that's he needs to hit an AC of 28.
Okay, so I need to roll against her AC?
Yes, or her, yeah.
But she is prone.
Yeah, that means that her reflex save is going to be a lot worse, so what's her 25? 21 he needs to beat.
Yeah, that's not going to work. So Quinn says it's a multiple attack, so because I took 2 shots, it would have been less than that, so I did not succeed.
Very well. Speaking of, it's Victor's turn.
Hold on. So Quinn's explaining it to me. It would have been
What's
a...
your third attack? Like, if you were going to shoot your bow a third time, what would it be?
So Quinn tells me it would have been the third attack, so it would have been a 31 minus whatever we were minusing.
Yeah, minus 10.
So it would have been a 25 is what I actually rolled.
Yeah, in that case, he manages to actually grapple young Miss Rain.
So Lau just grabs her and he's like, "Listen, calm down, we're your friends." And he's just like holding her in place.
Very well. Victor's turn.
I am a simple man.
Ain't nothing wrong with trying a little whammo. He does block it with his flail, though. Aw, man. The lack of whammo.
That first one was like hovering between the 8 and the 22. It was really sad.
I saw. Laney.
Laney's going to make her first attack with a knife throw at the spider.
Very well. That's a hit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, spider bleeds purple as Laney throws a star knife into its chitin.
And we'll repeat it with the High Priest.
Very well. That's a 35. That's a hit.
It's a natural 20.
It's a natural 20. It is actually. So it's a crit. Just remember that you when you have 3 attacks, you need to roll the different hits.
Yep, you take a penalty on second and third. Yep.
Yep.
So it's a crit. What was it to get the
Hold
critical
shift.
damage?
And roll the damage. There we go. That's a lot of damage for a knife throw. Straight into the throat. Doesn't take him down, but he's definitely not happy.
And third action, she's just going to move in the corner out of the way.
Oakley dokley. That takes us to Ida.
Yeah, it was 1d8 healing per round, right?
Yeah. I do believe Lainey has now moved out of that area.
Yeah. Yes, she has.
We need spell templates for this system. That's what we need to be able to drop like that. That'd be great.
Then I'll run over here and try to help Tonka with this fucking...
Right, Ida moves up to the spider. Spider bro. Pokes at the empty air. And gets a critical. That's a lot of damage right there. The spider definitely is not a fan of Ida at the moment. As she pierces deep into its shitten. And it's Tonka's turn. Tonka.
Tanka? Okay, well, Tonka's still irritated that this spider has bitten his friends, and he has not a single time bit him, so we're gonna continue on with trying to bite him. We're gonna keep rolling good.
Yep. Yeah, your dice are red hot today.
How about a 33?
A 33 is actually it.
Alright, we did it. We did it, boys.
Tonka's got the pack tactics bonus now that spider has more than 3 people.
That'd be 47 damage.
Yeah, crunch. So Tonka starts munching on that spider.
And then I mean, he has nothing else to do, so he'll take his last attack. And he will not succeed.
It's Tasha's turn.
Okay.
You can now hear the sound of and feel vibrations as well as things are being smashed to bits on the first floor, and there's more of that tickly type of high-pitched screaming, whining. And there's frost now starting to form on the floor.
Tasha is using one interaction action to heal herself with a vital beacon and one to heal Rain, and the third action is sustaining her light field. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Rain is being grappled by some sort of feral creature snarling in her ear like, I'm gonna eat your bones. I'm gonna boil your teeth. And some other sort of spellcaster just tried to kill her with some sort of weird spell. What's Rain gonna do about it?
It's clearly a healing spell. Come
on.
So Quinn said she can only attack and use offensive cantrips.
Yep. Well, one of my offensive cantrips would be electric.
So in order to cast Electric Arc, you have to pass a DC 5 flat check because you're grappled, or you lose the actions. Also, Shion appears to be frozen.
Yes, she does. She seems to have locked herself in some sort of train of thought.
That's how good my grapple is.
Yeah.
You were all frozen for me for a moment. Am I back?
Yeah.
Yes, you're
Okay.
back.
Yes, you can. You need to take a DC 5 flat check to cast your cantrip.
So just a
Or-
general D20 without anything? Is that a flat check?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Nope.
So those 2 actions are gone, and the spell is not cast.
Lyle
So now
is
you need
shouting.
to make a strike at a random target.
Yep. So feel free to attack Lyle with whatever melee weapon Rain has to hand.
Well, she only has her staff in hand.
Yeah, well, she'd whack him with that then.
So Lyle's like holding this pixie who's fighting with him. He's like, "Stop it! We're your friends!" And she tries to cast a spell, so he just whaps her on the head, and then she attacks him back.
Yeah, because she hears Lyle go, "I'm gonna boil your teeth and make panties out of them."
Oh my!
And she is just screaming something you can't really get. Yeah. Let me see.
Good luck, ma'am.
She has a -1 on strength, so if she tries to hit you with that,
Yes, and
It's also going to be plus your level plus what you're probably trained with simple weapons.
She's not gonna hit me with a 31 AC
You're a
though.
druid, right, Rain?
yeah, Lyle's armor class is good enough that he manages to evade the blow with the staff from the very confused Rain.
Hey, stop it! Stop! I told you, we're friends, damn it! Would you knock it off?
The spider is gonna bite at Tasha again.
Yep, she doesn't have her staff raised, so her AC is only 27.
This time it manages to catch her with the teeth for 38 damage. And she
Okay.
needs to give me a 33 fortitude.
And take a liberating step.
Okay.
11
so,
less.
Yeah.
That's
Fair
good
enough.
because
27
otherwise-
damage.
Cool. What fortitude what?
33.
Yes!
Yeah, Tasha just flexes and pushes the poison out with her mighty thews.
Just spits at the spider.
Remember,
Rain-
you can also move up to 15 feet with the liberating step, so you can move out of the way if you want.
Yep, she's gonna move
Yep.
over here.
Rain needs to give me a DC 33 fortitude again.
do I also get the 1d8 from Tasha's field
Yes.
again?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so that's first. And then the fortitude.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh my god. Ida, you weren't supposed to give me your dice here.
Rain takes 24 poison damage.
Mm-hmm.
The poison ravages her brain. Spider tries to bite Ida. Nope. And tries to bite Victor. Big ol' nope. Both of them evading or blocking teeth as they come flying up. Evrock.
Gonna use my executioner strike on this gentleman or lady.
Go for it, sir. That's a hit.
Should have only been one die on the D10.
Yeah, Evrock strikes him powerfully, and he was also crit, so he's been immolated. So I'll count that second D10 as well as fire damage. He's on fire from Evrock's strike. Evrock's critical on top of everything else. He's just not having a great day at work.
Or my 1d8 back.
Right.
You are
He
outside
points-
of the area, said. Nah. Yeah, could be on the edge of the area.
He points his finger at Laney and goes, "Be gone, pest!" And I'll need a DC 33 Fortitude from Laney. Nope. So this time Laney is in a slightly better shape than the last time she was hit with this spell, so she only takes 70 damage. Then he's going to try to whack Evrock with the Warflail. And fail. Bonk, straight in the shield. Mr. Lyle.
Well, Lyle's like fighting with this pixie who's like screaming obscenities at him and trying to whack him with her staff. I want to slap her.
Right. She is defending herself as effectively as she can, so you're going to have to make an attack against her armor class.
Yeah, absolutely. She's flat-footed though, right? So.
Yep.
That'd be
She was
hold
prone
on.
when you grabbed her, so Lyle kind of has a foot on her prone form and is like, "Stop it!"
Both being confused and being grabbed cause flat-footed as well.
Yep.
So 17 to hit.
Yeah, that is a hit for 1 point of damage. Rain, give me a DC 11 will save.
It's a flat check as well.
That's a flat check as well. Oh.
Yep, DC 11
Thank
flat
you.
check.
She's still confused.
I have 2 more actions. I'm going to slap her again.
Right. Well, both slaps connect. Rain takes 2 more damage and can try 2 more DC 11 flat checks.
No, I was just screaming at her the whole time, like, will you fucking calm down? And he just keeps slapping her.
He only hit me the second time. That was already my, the 19 was my save.
Oh, right. Yeah. So, second time, Rain snaps out of it. So she takes 1 point of damage and is no longer
What?
confused.
Why are you hitting me?
And Lyle's not even sure that she's come out of it, so he just slaps her and he's like, listen, we're your friends. Will you calm the fuck down?
Yeah, that's not gonna get somebody to call the police. Rain's pain screaming and Lyle smacking her around. Shouldn't joke about that sort of thing. Victor, your turn.
I would like a will save from the robed boy as I hit him with a dimensional anchor.
Okay. What is the DC, good sir? Oh,
It is DC.
What's a critical fail do, to be more correct?
For 1 hour, he cannot teleport or travel between dimensions.
Well, you definitely nailed him with that one. Takes it straight to the face.
So, for an hour, he is not going anywhere unless it's by his own 2 feet.
Bugger. Right. Is that everything Victor does? Nope. He does manage to protect himself from the flamberge, though.
And that'll be my turn.
Laney! Feeling a bit chilled after being hit by that finger of death, but Laney's still on her own 2 feet.
Okay. I don't see any, unless he's flat-footed. I can't see any way to make him so.
So you'd have to be able to trip him or inconvenience him in some other way.
Or flank him.
Or flank him, you know.
Yeah, I don't think I can get close enough to do either.
You can roll through, right?
No. I could tumble through, but that
I'm going to
leaves
say it's a
character exposed.
DC 27 tumble at the moment. Because he does have the door, the doorway he's holding, making it a bit more difficult.
Yeah, we're just going to stab him instead.
That's it. Poke. Well, he has been stabbed, but he's still standing.
We're just going to retreat over by Tasha.
Got it. Which takes us to Ida.
Yeah, let's see.
Slightly singed by that fire spell that was cast, but otherwise in great shape. Can't hear anything.
I laid on hands myself, used the D8 from Tasha, and I'm gonna stab the spider.
Go for it. That's a hit and a miss.
13 then.
Yeah, it squirts out more purple fluidish. As Ida stabs it. And it is Tonka's Zeit.
Yeah, Tonka's still upset that he has only bit this spider one time, so he will continue the whammo, as it were.
Arg.
And I will continue rolling amazingly.
It's just.
I can only hit people in our party, apparently.
Somebody get that man a new set of dice.
I thought I gave him to Ida, but maybe I'm holding on to him.
There
I
might be
switched
two per
colors,
sets
that
of dice.
helped.
Yeah, you need to switch colors. Switch set. Here's a curse.
31, though? Is that a miss?
That is a miss, good sir. Even with Tonka's pack tactics. Oh, and he gets to do a trip attack against Victor.
Alright, Victor. Watch out, bub.
I'm going to say Victor manages to stay on his feet. Tonka's not really, not really into trying to trip him. There we go. That takes us to Tasha.
That spider still stands, huh?
Yep. Skittering about.
She's gonna. Well, she's gonna look at Lainey, actually. How bad does her cousin look?
Pretty beat up.
She looks at the spider. You'll be dead soon, just wait for me. And then she's gonna use her last. She's gonna use 2 interaction actions to pump the last of her vital beacon into Lainey.
Go for it.
So that's
21 back to Lainey.
21. Yeah.
Right. Takes us to Rain, who's now back in
Back to her
reality with her brain.
senses. Yes. That is the moment she tries to neutralize the poison in herself.
Yep, go for it.
Come on, give me that. Oh, give me the dice, you damn it.
Also, don't forget the D8. For
Yes,
your help.
I'm doing that first. That didn't do much, but it's better than nothing. $27 to neutralize the poison.
She does not manage to neutralize the poison.
Damn it. And she uses Vital Beacon on herself, I guess. Yeah.
Very well. That takes us to the Spider Bro, who is gonna try to bite Ida first. Ooh, that is a critical. It
Of course it is.
Noms Ida for 63 damage.
Deliberating strike.
Very well, for 52 damage. And the DC 33 Fortitude. Oh dear.
Nope.
Yep, and another 12 poison damage. That was impressive. Then it tries to bite Tonka. And succeeds. Chomping on Tonka for 34 and the DC 33 Fortitude save. Oh, man. And another 8 poison damage. So
So you said 34 damage plus 8?
correct.
Take a liberating step if you want.
I don't think Tonka would. At this point, he's probably about to be confused, so.
Yeah, just at least take away 11 of the damage.
Very well. And then it tries to bite Victor. And fails.
Pretty sure my doggo would just, like, set his teeth down and continue fighting, though.
That sounds like him. Evrock, it is your turn, sir.
Question, GM. Executioner
Yes, sir.
strike. Can I use that every round that I'm not moving?
What?
Executioner strike.
Yes, you can.
Okay, I'm doing it again.
Go for it. That is a hit. And you don't... Well, you can roll damage. Evrock, with a masterful swing of his blade, takes the head straight off the priest of the King in Yellow. Probably saving somebody's life. He was about to do nasty things to you. Lyle.
Okay, well, I assume then because she was casting spells and stuff that I've realized that she's not confused anymore.
She's not screaming obscenities at you and calling you a filthy half-goblin, so you're pretty certain she's not confused anymore.
Yeah, so Lyle had her in his arms and he's like slapping her and he's like yelling at her. And then he kind of shakes his head and he's like, "Would you stop?" And he lets her down. And then I would like to... I mean, there's people all around me all of a sudden. I'll take a shot at the spider then.
Go for it. That's a hit.
So that'd be 20 damage.
Got it.
And then I'll use my last action, I think, to move to this corner over here. Because Lyle's, like, very confused about how all this went. He's just looking around and he's like, who do I trust at this point? So he's just going to sit in this corner.
Yes, sir. And it is Victor Zeitz. Maybe he'll lead you to be Victor. Yes. That is a hit. With the whammo stick. That spider's starting to look a bit more tired now. Second one is actually a miss there.
And for my third action, I'll cast shield for the
Got
extra AC.
Laney.
GM, is there any space behind the spider for Laney to get into?
Nope.
Oh well. She's just going to step up next to Ida and strike at it then.
Don't forget your D8.
I haven't.
That's a hit. Right, 16 damage. Taking us to Ida.
Just going to step back.
Yeah. I'm just gonna continue stabbing this thing.
One hit.
And then I'm gonna acrobatics myself out of danger because I'm getting really hurt.
Got it. Tonka time. Tonka.
Tonka.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, we were talking about spells. My apologies. Tanka is still mad that the spider just will not leave him alone. So he's going to continue to try to bite this man. I will continue to roll amazingly.
Yes. Yes, you are. You're actually shockingly proficient at rolling badly here.
Of the, 15 attacks I've taken with Tonka today, I've hit one.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
But
So my
that
doggo
really
is just...
saved Tasha's butt, you know.
So my doggo is just doing circles. He's like trying to bite his own tail, even though he should be fighting this giant spider. He's like, but this thing behind me. Have you seen it?
It's Tasha's turn.
Yeah, Tasha is tired of that spider. Lore dump. Will DC
Oh.
30.
Very well. Interesting. What is the maximum damage of Lore Dump times 2?
16d6 times 2. Someone who does better. Quick
It's a
mouth
lot of
technique.
damage. Okay. What
This is
kind of
what I
lore
would-
is?
96 times 2?
Here's 43 times 2. There you
86.
go. It's 86 in this case. Actually, she's just gonna dump all the knowledge she has about astronomical figures onto the spider.
Yeah, it's gaining a lot of knowledge about astronomical figures, and a lot of it's in the spider's opinion just plain stupid. To the point where it actually takes 192 damage from your spell, and its head explodes.
Thank goodness we're not the only one failing all the saves today.
Nope, that's actually the third one I've rolled on a save today.
That spider was really annoying. I honestly thought that this high priest would be more of a pest. I mean, it was for Laney, I suppose, but this spider, I honest to God, I'm just gonna ask Armand to make us vials of antidote if this goes on.
Yeah, compared to the last high priest that zapped me, this one lacked whammo.
Be glad about it.
I am. Don't worry.
I
I'm
am
gonna
very.
go. Am I still
I'm gonna go
poisoned, by
over.
the way?
You can see frost and ice creeping up the stairs, and the light in the room kind of fades a bit. As a very tall, very beautiful woman with long, flowing green hair, dressed in old, tattered robes of white and gold, with completely porcelain white skin, and cold, pale blue eyes, slowly walks up the stairs.
Up the stairs?
Yep, from the floor below you.
Oh, okay. So the south door then?
The stairs, the stairwell.
But did we go downstairs? Wouldn't she?
Yeah, we came from upstairs, didn't we?
Yes, she comes
We
up
are
from
in
the
the
floor below
middle.
you.
3
Oh,
floors.
it's a split staircase. So there's one going up and one going down behind it.
Oh, okay. I was so confused. I get it now.
It doesn't really
Yes.
convey well. Sorry.
Yeah,
The
I'm
2D
aware.
map doesn't show that.
I'm aware. It's should have been better at explaining it, but she's still walking up the stairs. Yeah. You can see your breath fogging from the cold emanating from her.
Does it bother me at all?
It's intense enough that it's actually unpleasant even to you.
Yeah, I was curious. So even though I ignore most of those things, I'm just like breathing out and I'm looking around. I'm like, this isn't natural.
And we should go.
The only way to
Yeah.
go is down.
Maybe we go after her, and he just points a shaking finger.
I mean, she comes towards us, if I understand that correctly. She's not
Yes.
fleeing. She's trying
She's
to
walking up
get us.
towards you pretty calmly, actually.
Is she threatening?
She's not doing anything threatening, but you feel an intense aura of power and evil and danger from her.
She's coming down where Tonka's at, right?
Yep.
So he'll start letting out a low growl, and if she walks past him or into his range, he's gonna bite her.
Can Tasha put up another wall of ice between us and her?
She could try, definitely.
Because she would, and then she would go like, let's try to retreat.
Right. As Tasha casts Wall of Ice, she kind of does a movement like that and counters Tasha's spell.
Rain would try to put up a wall of fire with her staff.
Right. She seems unimpressed. She looks straight at Tasha. Huh. I was planning on killing everybody up here, but you seem to be wielding my mother's staff.
Well, you cannot have it back. It is mine now.
Oh, I don't need that trinket. It's perfectly fine. But I do have an offer for you.
Hunter's mark.
I'm listening.
Holofaust is pleasing in the eyes of the Death Lord. And he can't abide seeing it being stained by these outsiders. I would suggest a truce between us until Holofaust is cleansed.
Define outsiders for me, please.
Ones from beyond the void. The unborn gods. I do believe you killed one of their little pets just a moment ago here.
Okay, I have a question, DM, because I can't wrap my head around it. So is she offering me that they will take care of the void spawn problem? Or is she like, are we gonna kill everybody and make Holofaust our own? Because
She's offered you a truce. She hasn't really explained the details about it.
Not good.
well, I can make decisions for all of us, but it sounds like a good offer. Victor, what do you say? Since you are more into all this truce laws and, you know, rules thing.
I mean, all truces and agreements come down to the contracts. So if we see what she wants on paper that can be bound, then we could make an agreement. But verbal agreements historically have no carryable weight.
How quaint. Very well. The offer from the Death Lord is this. None of the Death Lord's followers, and none falling under his domain, will attack you or hinder your operations in Hollowfaust for the duration of the threat from those beyond the void. And, of course, you will not attack anybody in the Death Lord's domain or hinder our operations during the same duration.
Mutual non-aggression, then, lady. I think we can accept that.
Well, it is up to the captain as he leads our merry band.
Lyle comes out of the corner and he's like, why would we agree to any of that? Look at the evil that they do every single day. Why would we... Just stopping another evil doesn't make we're not allowed to allow some evil to stop another. This is not a good deal.
Tasha looks towards Lyle and she looks, I mean, I don't know. I suppose that Baldigunde, Belly Tumbler, and the dwarf are not with us?
They're safe higher up in the staircase at the moment.
We still got to get them to the temple.
We're talking about the evil that we've been fighting to begin with. We're a non-aggression pact. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to do shit while we're not allowed to stop them. This is not okay.
It shouldn't be just non-aggression for our group, but all of them. So only being allowed to attack the creatures from beyond the void for both sides.
I trust them as much as I've trusted any of the enemies we fought. And he just points directly at her and he goes, you know damn well this isn't what you say it is.
I have to agree with Lyle.
I'm not sure we can fight her, though.
The problem I see with this truce or this non-aggressive, once we finish dealing with the void, what's not going to prevent you from turning around and attacking and killing us?
Why, Master Dwarf, absolutely nothing. Except... What would be my motivation? I have no quarrel with you.
That's a lie.
What is your goal, then? I mean, you want to have the void creatures gone, so do we.
Goal of the Death Lord is what it's always been. Peace. A tranquil world with no death, no suffering, no hunger.
Turns out when they're all dead, there is no death. This is garbage and everyone here knows it. And he just looks around and he's like, am I the only one who thinks this? This is a villain. This is a villain who's trying to make a deal with us. And who knows whether they can even keep their lies to themselves. You're going to make a deal with us and then one day you'll just be like, well, I broke that deal. Bullshit. This is all terrible.
Trusted the stranger once and it costs one of my friends, so no, I'm not trusting.
Captain, it's your call.
I've been sent here to deal with the void beings. If I have to do it by myself, I will. That is what my deity has requested, and that is what I will do. You can go back. I'll do it. I will stay and I will fight.
That's not at all what we're talking about.
I have my orders too, sir.
I mean, this has no bearing tangentially. The question is, do we want to have a non-aggression pact so that the Death Lord and his followers can continue whatever scheming, and we're not allowed to interfere with it?
And they can't interfere with us or what we are doing.
However, that doesn't mean that they're not going to prepare to hit Louisenthal as soon as the void creatures are no longer in Holofaust.
Exactly. They cannot deal with us directly. But what about the innocent people that we protect?
Then you can all go back to Louisenthal and defend, and I will do what I can here.
What does that even mean? The question is, do you want to make a deal with this vampire
I
or
want
not?
to stop the void people from coming in, and that's final.
We were already doing that. That's not the question.
This is the next spot where they're supposed to be coming in. We have to stop it.
Hey,
Or
Captain,
the
the
whole
question
world
is,
is in
do we,
trouble.
the question is, do we also want to thwart the Death Lord while we're here?
You're aware of what she offered us, right, Captain? It's not a matter of us not fighting the void, right?
I have, at this time, no qualms with the Death Lord. I do have a qualm with the void creatures.
Every vampire that's attacked Louisenthal is tied to the Death Lord.
Actually, good sir, that's not entirely true. You see, somebody whom I've not ascertained quite who yet released a shard of Ixtab some time ago. And she, that shard of the old goddess of undeath, is trying to regain her position. As such, having caused a bit of a civil war, you could say, in the
Among the
realms of
undead.
undeath. Now, I, for one, would not really enjoy seeing my mother return to godhood. Or that part of her, anyway.
Wasn't your mother's name Monire?
Oh, then I see you've learned something from carrying her staff.
I did, Rebecca.
She was called Monire up until she took the mantle of Lady of Undeath. Or, well, maybe it was more forced upon her. Anyhow.
You betrayed your sisters. I don't think you're in a position to speak badly about your mother with what you did in the past.
My sisters were fools. And then, as thus, they died. Are you fools?
For trusting someone who is well known to betray what they say they're going to do? Yeah, very foolish, I imagine.
She looks over at Lyle and like, you've done nothing but make noise, young man. You need to be at least this tall to speak to me.
I look at her and I'm like, I'm sorry. Sorry that you're so tall. Like, why would you shame me on height? You got nothing better?
She seems to be ignoring Lyle.
I don't understand why you betrayed your sisters, but then you're not in league with your mother, since both of you seem to be very much in the undead business.
Well, as you are a distant descendant, I guess, of my bloodline, I'll take the time to answer your question. My mother, when she wore the mantle of Ixtab, wanted rampant undeath. Everything needed to die. She was, quite frankly, insane. The Death Lord, however, he's disciplined, compassionate, He just wants to end suffering. And as such, I shall support him.
Does she speak the truth? Can Tasha determine whether she speaks the truth? Can I make a roll?
Yes, make a roll.
What is that? Deception?
Yep.
It's a perception. Unless you have lie to me as a feat.
Perception. Okay.
Perception,
yes.
unless you have a feat to use deception.
That's not really good.
Well, she
Sad.
seems to believe what she's saying.
Do I know anything with a 41 religion critical success?
Give us a short moment, and I shall send you a bit of info. She flexes her perfectly manicured fingers a couple of times. Looks at Tasha. Well, Duchess? I see that several of your companions wield weapons from my aunts and uncles. It would be a shame to waste your lives here. For once, it might be interesting to see what you could do.
Tasha looks at the group and sees if she's got the support to make this decision of the captain's word.
It's a poor bargain you're offering.
Well, in the fine arts of diplomacy, normally one would come with a counteroffer. I'm sure a war chaplain of the Lawbringer can come up with something.
Niall's just stomping in the corner, and his mouth is moving, but there's no words coming out.
What about an actual contract that is binding?
Well, I've already agreed to a written contract.
The only thing that would make this contract more comfortable for us is if we knew that there was guarantees that your machinations did not involve us or our barony.
Very well.
Our family that are not in the barony, family should be safe as well.
No backstabbing, in other words.
She looks like she's listening to somebody. And very well. You, your bloodlines, and the barony of Lionshaven shall be excluded from any of the Death Lord's plans for the next century.
Captain?
Oh, for the next entry. Okay. Which means we could meet. I myself could meet again in another 100 years, since I live quite a few years.
Well, yes.
I do like the idea of us not being the focal point of the Death Lord's target. If it's
Let's
means
do it.
saving the barony for at least a century. War chaplain or our diplomatic? What do you say to this?
That pushes it to be much more equitable and gives us some guarantees that we won't banish the outsiders and then fall into the guillotine of Soth.
Then I accept it.
Oh, very well. She moves her hand slightly, and a signature appears on the contract.
I'll review it to make sure that it says what we agreed and hand it to the Baron.
Excellent. Oh. Seems you are in quite a bit of hurry. I bid you a good day.
One
He
last
says.
thing. I'm pretty sure I
Yes.
will be still around in 100 years. So better be prepared.
For the first time, she gives Tasha the slightest of smiles. Oh my, you do descend from our bloodline. I shall look
Your,
forward to it.
your mother is teaching me. And
Well,
then she will extend a hand actually to shake her hand. Like in good rivalry, so to speak.
yeah, with a brilliant smile. She shakes Tasha's hand. Actually, laughs shortly. As with everything else, her laughter, of course, is beautiful. And then she smiles and walks down the stairs. They're now completely covered in ice.
I suddenly wish I would have chosen a different element for my spells. I think we should go.
We got to get to the temple to save Belagumba and Belly Tumble too.
Yes. Let's fetch them.
Yeah, Belly Tumbler is carrying Baldegunda in his hands, using them as a stretcher.
Is Clement still with us too? The dwarf?
Yep, he's sitting over Baldegunda in Belly Tumbler's hands and still doing chest compressions and breathing. You have been fighting for a while, so the effect of your curative spells have worn off.
Come on, love. We need to go. Gotta save you somehow.
Do you know where the temple is from this location, Tasha?
I do. I say, hoping that I really do.
It's not far, which is good. These two are moderately heavy after you've held them for a couple of minutes.
Let's move.
How about you, Royal? How are you holding up?
Oh, it's getting easier to breathe, so guess most of the poison's wearing off for my sake. I do have a bit more of a, what could you say, belly for poisons than these regular humans and dwarves.
You have the physique for the poison.
Physique. Oh, there's a fancy word. Thank you, Baron.
So long as it doesn't affect your tongue.
Right. As you walk down the stairs to the common room, you can see that everything is covered in a sheath of ice. there's a lot of bodies from Leng ghouls and Leng assassins lying around. And the bodies of what you presume were the Knights of the Unobscured Star residing in this area. Most of the common room has been completely smashed to bits. And you can see two huge shapes made of mouths and tentacles and eyes. Completely frozen.
Must be the tentacle monsters they were talking about.
Okay, so Lyle is gonna stay on his doggo, and he's like staying away from the party a bit. So I would like to ride and like take a look around while everybody's walking.
Yeah. As you open the doors out into the streets of Hollowfaust, you are hit with heat. It is warm. Even warmer than the jungles of the Ebon Coast where Lyle grew up. With temperatures at about 45 Celsius or 105-ish freedom units.
Oh, too hot to go outside then, huh? Gets almost there here in New Mexico, so Lyle opens the door and he's like, "What the oh, God?" and puts his arm up.
Yep. To Lyle's mild discontent, he realizes that it's actually nighttime.
Does this bother me though with the primordial like resistance and stuff that I have?
Nope.
Oh, then I'm riding through the door.
Lyle and Evrock are resistant to heat, so they don't really care about it.
Yeah.
I am also resistant to heat.
Alright, then I will go out and I would like to sweep the perimeter a little bit. I'm not being obvious that I'm trying to stay away from everybody, but I'm definitely going to go out and do that.
I would like to be cautious, but we can't. We have to get our friends to the temple fast. So let's do a double time if we can.
I take off
Right.
my jacket and take to the wings.
Right. Flying over Hollowfaust, Ida can see it's a huge city, rivaling Lightbridge in size, and probably surpassing it, as Hollowfaust, unlike Lightbridge, does not have a restricted section. Around it's night, but she can see several different squads of heavily armored skeletons, led by people in the same sort of coat and hat as Tasha, although not quite as fancy, walking around. And there are some regular people moving about as well. One seems to be having a chat with one of the officers in coats leading the what Ida now realizes must be the city guard. As you
How do I
around
feel
one,
about this? Since with my background and
only you
my
can answer that
tenants
question.
as a champion.
Joshua, you need to take the lead to get us to the temple, please.
I will do so, but I think Arwina/Ida asked a question.
Yes, only she can actually answer that question, though. I have no idea how she feels about it.
True that.
So
Yeah,
it's more
fair
of a
enough.
rhetorical question, I believe. As you round a corner, you see a squad of probably 30 skeletons led by a young woman in a coat and hat. Just a couple of meters away from you. The young woman turns, sees Tasha, looks a bit startled, before she bows, and Professor, are you in need of aid?
We need to get into the Temple of Eternity my significant other is dying and I need to bind her to me to expand her lifespan.
I see you've been in combat. Where, what area do I need to send the patrols to?
I think we cleared out the raunchy goat. Everything in there should be fine now, so there is no need to send anyone there.
Very well. But city patrol statutes still say I need to send some squads. She writes something on a small handheld tablet. Please allow us to escort you. You seem
I would welcome it if you can spare the forces. That is, you seem
you
to be busy yourself.
tired and injured. I would not have it on my conscience that a professor was assassinated in the city on my watch. And the skeletons spread out and form a perfect square around you as you are led to the middle of Hollowfaust, to a huge temple made of the same black volcanic stone.
With a 40 perception, like I was saying, I ride out, like, away from the party. Do I find anything or notice anything?
Well, the first thing Lal notices is that this place is actually clean and doesn't stink of sewers and people's morning buckets.
Like they actually have a sewer and whatnot?
Not only sewers, but the streets are surprisingly without any sort of litter or detritus or trash.
Oh, nice.
And the people he sees are, well, they look healthy, well-fed, good clothes.
Those among the skeletons and whatnot?
Well, the skeletons look like skeletons, but...
So you're either dead or you're healthy?
Yeah, the townsfolk moving about who are alive seem happy, and they're not moving around giving the alleys furtive looks like the people of Lightbridge. They seem to feel some safety in their city.
Okay, so I'll obviously I'll keep an eye on where the party's going and all that, but I will continue to try to make sure there's nothing coming for them directly.
Very well. It only takes a short while until you see the Temple of Eternity itself is surrounded by, or it's in the middle of a small lake with a drawbridge leading over to it. And you reach the drawbridge with no issues. And I do believe that is what we will call today's session.
Fine.
So thank you everybody for joining. We'll be back next Sunday at 1800-ish CET for more Tales of the Red Lines. We'll be looking for somebody to raid right quick.
Okay, bye guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you for joining, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.